Okay, so far, we've been working with confidence intervals. You've looked at the different formats. We know that a confidence interval is composed of a point estimate, plus and minus error. And in previous examples, you've been given the error, but we also learned about confidence levels and significance levels, but we haven't tied confidence level and significance level together with confidence intervals yet. And now we're going to. And that's going to come into play when we calculate error. So how do we calculate error? Given the population standard deviation and the sample size. So in many scenarios, one will be required to calculate the margin of error using the following equation. And what will be given to you to use this equation is you'll be given the population standard deviation and the sample size. You should also be given a confidence level or a significance level. That will let you calculate this Z alpha 2 score that you need. So a question is, how is error related to this Z alpha 2 score? So the answer is shown in this figure below. So earlier, I think I showed this illustration where you have a point estimate in the middle, and then you add error to give you the upper bound for the interval, and you subtract error in order to get the lower bound for the confidence interval. Well, the error that you end up adding and subtracting is based off of the area in the tails or the area in the confidence level. Because the area in the confidence level and the significance level is defined by these two boundaries, this boundary, this upper boundary, and this lower boundary. Well, the upper boundary is the Z alpha 2 score, and the lower boundary is the Z alpha 2 score. So it's kind of like you're taking this point estimate and you're adding kind of the Z alpha 2 score and you're subtracting the Z alpha 2 score. Okay, so this Z alpha 2 score is directly related to this value of error that you calculate. And it's related by this equation. So error is related to area or probability. So what are the steps involved to calculate a confidence interval for a population mean? So step one, oops. Step one is to calculate the sample mean from the sample data. And you have to be told what the population standard deviation is. That has to be known, okay, for you to be able to put a value here. And if you're given the sample data, you should also know what the sample size is. Step two is to calculate the z-score, which corresponds to the confidence level and the significance level. So then you'll be able to calculate that value. And now that you've got everything on the right-hand side of the equation, you can now simplify that, and that'll tell you what the error is. So you can calculate the margin of error. Then step four, you construct the confidence interval in whatever desired format you want. Step five is to write a sentence to interpret the estimate in the context of the situation in the problem. Okay. So let me record the example as a separate video. But the main take home here is to see that error and the Z alpha 2 score, which is the critical value, which borders the confidence level and the significance level, how those two are related. Okay. And they're related by this equation. Okay. It's not going to be clear yet how we put that together, but that's the reason why we're going to do an example next, because you'll kind of see how this all fits together. All right, let me know if you have any questions.